48 hours away, or around that, till free agency negotiations begin on Thursday. So with all that, there's been plenty of news starting already. We'll start with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving opted into his deal yesterday, $37.5
I think
million.
36 and a half.
Yeah, $36.5 million for 1 more year in Brooklyn. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. It is not over. Kyrie is not a Brooklyn Net for the year. Even though it's looking like he might be, there are teams that can so easily make that salary match and pull the trigger, like Dallas, Philly, or whoever needs him. Dallas is in a desperate situation now, and we will get to that in a minute. But this Kyrie Irving stuff is just over the top. I mean, he wanted his money. He's not going to go play for the Lakers for $6 million. I mean, all the Lakers fans who thought that was just never going to happen, you should know better than that.
Yeah.
Kyrie, that's just who Kyrie Irving is.
So, I just have a problem. Kyrie Irving is not a prophet. He's not smarter than everyone else, and he's not different. No matter how much he wants to tweet like he is, and talk like he is, and act like he is not different from everyone else. He's just a pain in the ass for Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets were so annoyed with Kyrie and Kevin Durant that they were, not Kevin Durant, but Kyrie in particular, that they were willing to be like, I don't want to go through another year with this, so I'll let both of you walk so I don't have to deal with more of this bullshit next year.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is just ridiculous. So Kyrie Irving is causing so many problems that a team is actually willing to let go of Kevin Durant.
The best player in the world, second best player in the world, but one of the best scorers we've ever seen, they'd rather trade him to not deal with another player. It's insane.
And now that I think Kyrie realized that no one wants to pay him. He has $36 million waiting on the table. He could have gone signed for $6 million in LA. He's not going to do that. The Clippers didn't want to sign and trade for a max deal. The Heat didn't want to do it. Dallas didn't want to do it. Teams poked around and asked, but no one wants to offer him 3 or 4 years at max money. So now him opting in actually probably makes this trade a little bit easier because now Kyrie's locked in for 1 year. So you do have to match the contract, which is a lot more money than the $6 or $10 million that he was going to sign for a mid-level exception.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, now it's 1 year. You don't just sign him for 3 or 4 on max money. You sign him for 1 year, and then you see where it goes from there. And if he actually plays, then you can debate money.
Now, if you're Brooklyn, what do? He's been a complete pain in the ass for you.
If you get the right package, I would still trade him.
Okay.
Because if you get the right package, Kevin Durant will stay with this.
I could see that.
You do that. But right now, the problem is Kyrie going to be one day in Monday in December? Say they're playing against the Bulls. He's like, oh, I don't feel like playing tonight. It just leaves Kevin Durant out to dry for 2 weeks.
Yeah, what Kyrie needs to do this year, if he wants max money, because he can still get it. He's 29, 30 years old. He needs to play 70 games this season.
Yeah.
And score 25 a game, and he'll get it.
Barring, of course, an ACL injury and stuff that he can't control. But, violating COVID rules, not getting vaccinated, taking a break because the riots at the Capitol, everyone else is still playing, everyone else is doing you don't need breaks for that.
No, everybody else is going through the same thing.
He has every excuse in the world to not play. And Kevin Durant now has just thrown away probably 3 more championships in Golden State that he could have got if he stayed to deal with Kyrie Irving just being a complete problem in Brooklyn.
All right, let's move on to the draft.
Which was interesting. But actually, I enjoyed the draft. I think that
there were a lot less moves that.
I
thought it was
a lot of trades.
We watched it together, the whole thing.
Yeah, there was just so much hype behind a Gobert trade and a Kyrie Irving trade and a Kevin Durant trade in the days leading up that I thought there would be more trades, but it was still an overall good draft. The Thunder, I think you and I both agree that the Pistons and the Thunder are the top, came out of that looking the best.
Yeah, and for the Thunder it's a little different for me because of course they're going to look the best. They have 4 fucking first-round picks.
I liked that trade they made with the Knicks for future picks.
Me too.
They got 11 and 12. They got 3 lottery picks. They didn't just get 3 first-round picks. They got 3 lottery picks, which is really good. You got your guy in Chet. You were able to go get Jalen Williams from Santa Clara. Shout out Finn.
Yeah.
And you also got the guy from
Uzman
from New Zealand or whatever, who I think will be a good player. I think he's going to be one of the underrated players.
Yeah,
he's going to get 15 a game someday. He's going to be a solid NBA
All
player.
3 of those players are projects, and that's the perfect place to be if you're a project. Go to Oklahoma City, develop your game, be a 3-and-D wing. That's what you're looking for.
And then
for Jalen Williams and Uzman Jang, of course. And we all know Chet's a project.
If Chet
That's going to
gains
take
40,
a couple years.
40 pounds is a lot, but Giannis gained 25 to 40 pounds
something
in his
like
NBA career.
It was a really good draft for them. And then obviously Detroit, sad at 5. I thought.
I don't know what the Kings were thinking.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, we'll go into that later. Like,
Not shocked though.
I don't even hate Keegan Murray.
No, but
I
like,
just
I thought he was gonna go 7.
like it's a decent fit for them, but like you could have maybe traded down or something. I mean, obviously other teams definitely wanted Jaden Ivey, right? But the Pistons held their ground. Sacramento didn't trade their pick, and they got their guy at 5. That's going to be a really fun backcourt to watch.
And then going out and making the trade for Jalen Duren was also awesome. I love Jalen Duren. I think that he's going to be a big-time athlete, shot blocker in this league for years to come. I also think that Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham will be a great duo in the backcourt because both of them, I think, can play off ball, but neither of them have to. Both of them can have the ball. It's interchangeable who needs the ball each time. Cade's a better shooter than Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey can improve his shooting, but both are super athletic. Both have decent passing ability, especially Cade. So that's going to be very interesting.
They balance off each other well.
Right.
Both being able to play off ball and on ball is going to be really nice for them. And then the pieces surrounding them, like you said, Jalen Duren's really good. Obviously, Sadiq Bey fits in really well. And if they get Miles Bridges on this max contract in free agency, that's a pretty dangerous team.
Yeah, no, I think the Thunder and the Pistons are set if like the guys develop well.
Right.
Now it's just up to the coaching staff and the front office to make sure you develop guys and put the right veterans around them. But quickly before we move on to some of the moves that have already happened before free agency even began, I think the most underrated move of the draft, or most underrated team that did well was the Pelicans. Pelicans sat at 8. They got Dyson Daniels from the G League Ignite team, who I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
But they also EJ Liddell fell to like 40.
40.
And they were able
like
to get
46 or something.
They were able to get EJ Liddell and then their 8th pick to add to Zion Williamson, Herbert Jones, Brandon Ingram, and God, why am I blanking? CJ, yeah.
Yep.
And then also Devontae Graham, who's a decent point guard in this league. So I think they're
point guard. He's not that good.
He's not that good. Right, but still, that's what Dyson
Daniels.
Daniels.
It's a great core. Yeah, no doubt. Jose Alvarado too. They look really nice. Valanciunas.
I think they don't even. I think they get a playoff spot, not a play-in, a playoff spot.
I could
5 or 6. I would not be shocked.
That. Oh, another rumor I want to jump into before we get into Jalen Brunson is all the DeJounte Murray buzz is going around.
I did see that.
I think the best spot for him is Minnesota, 100%.
Yeah, I saw that them and Cleveland seem to be very interested.
Cleveland's nice too, and both of them can put together a pretty good package. I don't know who has more trade value, Colin Sexton or D'Angelo Russell.
It's really who else you pair in that trade package. Like, do you send Lowry and Sexton from Cleveland to go for DeJounte Murray plus picks?
You need
also,
picks.
Here's the thing: whoever has more picks and more valuable first round picks, because that is what San Antonio wants. They want picks.
And both of those teams, if you look at them like straight up, they're in the same spot. They're looking at 5, 6, 7 seed maybe.
And DeJounte Murray can make that a 4, maybe
both of them.
seed.
Yes, he can bump both of them up. Yes. Right.
I think he definitely bumps up Minnesota more than he does Cleveland.
I agree
because
with
I think Minnesota has more firepower. And Edwards, Cat, is Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen are great, but I think that Edwards and Towns have just more star power.
They have 3 guys who can score the ball really well. D'Angelo Russell will probably be gone in that trade, maybe Malik Beasley too. And Cleveland, including DeJounte Murray, if you get him, will still have 1 who can score 25 a game. Mobley maybe can score 20, 22 next game. Jared Allen will probably never do that, but that's okay. Yeah. They're a really good defensive team. They look good.
Right.
So.
Okay, Jalen Brunson news came out today that not only the Knicks are going to be able to offer him $20 million a year, it looks like 25, which is crazy to me. But seems like he's willing to go there and wants to make the deal. Now, I want to start by saying why is Jalen Brunson the Knicks' choice of the future? Like, Jalen Brunson played great this year. He is a great player. He can get you 15, 18, 20 a game. He played with Luka Doncic, who in my opinion is the top 5 player in the league right now. He played Luka Doncic, which makes everyone around you better, gives you more scoring opportunities because the best good defender is not guarding you.
Right.
So you're going to go to New York, who is just an abysmal franchise, just falling apart. They play one good season, think they're going to a championship, and then just fall apart the next year. You have Julius Randle on a brutal contract. You don't want to pay him. You really just have R.J. Barrett, and if you get Jalen Brunson, you have Jalen Brunson. So you have 2, not borderline all-star players at best. Not even yet.
Here's the thing. I just view Jalen Brunson, I know him and Julius Randle are different players, but they're both coming from the same situation. Julius Randle did this in New Orleans where he averaged didn't he win most improved, or was that, no, he won it with the Knicks.
Yeah, he won it with the Knicks.
But before that, he was playing good basketball, so the Knicks were like, all right, we're going to give you this contract.
He had a really good season.
He had a good season, and then he hasn't been good. So I feel like Jalen Brunson is in that same boat where, he had a good season in Dallas, but now he's going to New York where he has to be the man with the ball. Cause,
I just don't understand. Why is that the man? Why is that the guy?
I don't get it either.
Want to go out.
He's young, but he can't play much defense. He's really small.
You're going to invest $25 million, and they just hired his dad as an assistant coach too.
They did?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
So you're going to go after a guy, you're going to pay him $25 million, you're going to invest all this money into a guy that really is going to be a 20-point per game scorer at best, which is fine, but he's also going to turn the ball over a lot. He can't defend for shit. DeMar and Zach and Giannis, they're just going to abuse the Knicks. The Knicks don't. Julius Randle's a mid defender. RJ Barrett's a decent defender, but all the
they're going to lose Mitchell Robinson.
They've lost defenders in the past because they tried to invest in scoring last year, and then Evan Fournier only plays good against the Celtics. So you don't have anyone on that team. I would just try to rebuild a little bit longer, and then you gave away your pick for 3 future first-round picks, which I actually was not I thought that was a decent move.
Insane. Knicks fans are blowing up about that. I liked it.
But you're not going to be a win now because the Knicks fans want to win now, and you're not going to win for the next 5 years at the most because you guys thought you were good.
This just seems like a move to try and satisfy the fans. We're not going to be shit again.
So we're going to be a 6th seed, and we're going to lose in the first round. That's what we want to do for the next. Like the Pacers, you're going to be satisfied with making the playoffs, losing in the first round, and never get away from
I still don't see them making the playoffs with this team.
No, because you have Chicago, Philly, Milwaukee, Brooklyn. Let's assume Brooklyn's how they're
right. Toronto's better than them. Cleveland's better than them.
I think if Charlotte brings back their guys, it could be better than
maybe Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta's definitely better than them. I don't even remember who else was in the
Orlando, Detroit. There's a bunch of teams who could be really good. Who knows what Orlando or Detroit's gonna do? I don't see Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett taking you to the Eastern Conference Finals or anything like that. That's not feasible.
And someone get Derrick Rose up out of there.
I heard.
Please put him out. I saw
the Bucks.
The Bucks are interested. The Suns, I think, should make a move for a backup point guard like that. So please get him out of there because I hate to see my guy fucking in New York just struggling and not having a good time.
Did they fire Thibodeau?
No, because
Tibbs.
Oh god. Also, John Wall. We saw that they finally bought him out in Houston. He is going to the Clippers, so him and Reggie Jackson will be fighting for that starting spot. And I think this is a great move because at that position, the point guard, since Paul George and Kawhi Leonard got there, a point guard does not average more than 4 assists a game.
Right, and Wall
John Wall can average 7 or 8. He doesn't need to score. He doesn't need to give you his 25 points that he used to give you. He just needs to give you 7 or 8 assists, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
But he's going to give you those 7, 8 assists. I like the John Wall, and I viewed him. I liked him maybe off the bench, but I do agree now. He should start. He's going to shoot the ball no matter what. He's John Wall. He's going to jack up shots, and he's going to turn the ball over as well. He's not the greatest defender either, but you don't really need that with Paul George and Kawhi.
I somewhat disagree with you on that. I think after 4 years of pretty much not playing, and knowing that he's going to a team, he's not what he once was, he knows that. He's going to a team with 2 guys that can give you 25 to 30 points a game, in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I think he realizes, I don't need to score more than 10 to 15 points a game.
This isn't Houston.
I'm going to have 8 assists a game. I'm going to play pretty good. I think he's a decent defender. He was never an awful defender.
He can steal the ball.
He can defend. I need to guard the 3rd best defender on their team because Paul George and Kyle are on them too. And then the Clippers are so deep with Reggie Jackson off the bench that he doesn't need to play 30 minutes. He needs to play 25 if he's tired.
They got Luke Kennard there too.
Who I think the Bulls should go after, by the way.
We'll get into that.
I love the John Wall move.
And they just re-signed Zubac, who's really nice too.
Yeah, I love them. I think the Clippers are the best team in the West going into next season. I'll give the Warriors the benefit of the doubt to win the championship. They're 1 in my mind right now. But give it 15 to 20 games for me to see how the Clippers look fully healthy. I will probably have the Clippers at 1.
Do they have Norman Powell still?
They do have Norman Powell and Covington. So give it 15 to 20 games next year, and I'll be sitting here again.
They have the Morris brother?
Yeah, they still do. And I guarantee you I'll be saying... Now, I don't know if all these guys are going to stay at the free agency.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure I'll be saying 20 games next year that the Clippers are the best team in the West and probably my favorite to win the championship.
Their bench is John Wall, Luke Kennard, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, and
the Hartenstein guy who was a
Right.
really improved.
They got Terrence Mann too. They have like 13
They
good
are
players.
stacked, yeah. So, and they also they can move some of these pieces around to get things that complement George and Kawhi a little bit better.
Right, and if you have questions about how Kawhi, Paul George, and John Wall are going to mesh or anything like that with the Morris brothers,
Don't think you should.
they have a top 3 to 5 coach in the league. Tyronn Lue knows what he's doing. He's going to put that together.
I still think he's top 2. Like, Pop, I think, is the best coach in the league still, but Pop's on a team where he's not going to, like, his team's not going to make the playoffs.
They're in a tough situation.
Right, so, like, not to discredit his coaching, he just doesn't have the team. So, if we look at the best teams in the league, I think Ty Lue is the best coach of those teams. Udoka's up there. There's other guys, of course.
Right, Kerr, Spoelstra for sure.
Yeah.
The Memphis
But
coach,
not
Monty
Steve
Williams.
Nash.
Not Steve Nash. That's a that's a problem for sure.
But he's not a coach anyway, according to Kyrie.
Yeah.
So,
The
who cares?
right, they all just play
They
together.
all just play. It's just
right?
pickup for them.
Yeah. Last news that we're going to talk about is Zach LaVine most likely going to re-sign with the Chicago Bulls.
Which
We were freaking out about it a little bit like a month ago.
So we will not be taking that down.
Yeah.
Actually, knock on wood, he will not be taking that down yet.
This isn't wood. Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
Hopefully.
Oh, is that wood?
Sure.
Okay.
Hopefully, when Thursday free agency negotiations begin, we get a report from Woj about 20 minutes in that Levine expects to sign the extension.
Yeah, I want him to expect to sign it. He should be the last guy to sign a deal for us this offseason, though. He should be the last one to sign.
Yes, but I want the deal. I want a verbal agreement.
Yes,
relatively.
yeah.
The longer it takes for the verbal agreement, the more scared I get.
Right, but
Unless it's like AK work behind the scenes, but I would like a verbal report within the first day.
I agree with that, but we can't go over the salary cap without, or wait, how do I? We need to.
We can go over the salary cap into the luxury tax with Levine because we have his bird rights and we can do that. But we have the MLE, which is 6.4 or 10.
No, it's 10. It's 10. The
we
other
have that
one,
at 10.
the biannual is like 5.
Right. So I actually think Zach can sign, and that we still have. I think.
That's
I
regardless.
think we just
That's
have
regardless.
the extra $6 million cap
Yes.
space if we want to use on vet mins that we should probably sign first and then.
Can
take
you add that onto an MLE?
I don't know. It's probably something to look up.
Yeah,
but
we'll figure it out. There's a couple good targets out there for the Bulls to look at. We need to, if we're gonna keep Vucevic and not trade for Gobert, which it looks like we're doing.
Actually, we should talk about that. It looks like we're going to keep our main core, which I kind of like. I like seeing Vooch another year, let P. Will develop, and just add rim protector, what they said, and AK didn't say shooting, but we all know we need some shooting.
Yeah, it's
like
rim protection. And
also, our draft pick, Dalen Terry, I do like. He's a 6'7" combo guard who can defend.
Yep.
Improve his three-point shot a little bit. He shot 36%,
36%,
which isn't awful. Improve that a little bit and just be able to play make off the bench and get guys open. I would love that.
Yeah,
and
and I heard a couple reports too that a lot of teams are trying to trade up for him. Yeah.
And then the last thing you and I talked about this, what I quickly want to touch on is Oladipo is looking to maybe go sign somewhere else in the short term to reboost his stock so he can get paid higher.
Sacramento's a team.
And if I am the Bulls, Oladipo can defend. We saw how he defended well in the Boston series.
Very well.
He is a decent three-point shooter, and he can score off the bench, and the Bulls need some more scoring off the bench. We saw in the playoffs last year, it was DeMar, a hurt Zach, and Vooch, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, and also Lonzo is improving.
I think a big target for us as well is Mitchell Robinson, just being able to be flexible like any night. If we need Mitchell Robinson to play even more minutes than Vooch, we can do that. He can play 26, 27 minutes for us and block 4 shots.
He will not re-sign if they sign Brunson.
No, I don't think he can.
Because they can't. He'll have to take much less money than he wants,
right.
And at that point, go to a team that's going to win.
Right.
Or they won't get Brunson. They have to
He's probably in the range of 12 to 16 million, I would say, something like that.
We can give him 12.
I
think we can give him about 12. We can figure it out to give him $12 million a year. For
we can do a sign and trade, have that trade exception.
I think we can figure a way to get Robinson here. I think you get Mitchell Robinson, and then you get a Wayne Ellington, Luke Kennard type of guy.
Oladipo, Joe Harris. We'll figure it out. But
Joe Harris is a dream. I think that's much less likely. But that is pretty much just our quick breakdown of the current drama going on, and then just the draft and everything. Like I said, in about 48 hours from now, be on SportsCenter because Woj will be having a new text every 10 minutes. So.
Bradley Beal re-signed as well.
Yes. So,
Good for him, I guess.
Yeah. We will have an episode coming on Friday, posted on Saturday.
Yeah.
That just breaks down everything that has happened in the first 24 to 48 hours of free agency after Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you guys for tuning in as always. Go check out the TikTok, just at Beat the Buzzer, and we'll see you guys next time.